Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I have one question to the nominee, Honorable Soipan Tuya. Article 153, subsection 3 requires CSs to appear before National Assembly or Senate committees when summoned, especially to answer to questions within their responsibility. However, many times the Ministry of Defense has invoked Section 49 of the Kenya Defence Forces Act, which basically limits access to information to protect national security and therefore hindering Parliament's ability to oversight the ministry due to lack of information. You have been in Parliament, so I'm sure you understand this and how much members would like to know and how much they can be told. So if you are approved, how do you plan to balance the need for national security with also the constitutional requirements for transparency and accountability to the people's representatives?
Let's take one more. Mule, you'll pass.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Nominee Honorable Soipan. I just want to declare my interest. She's a sister-in-law, and I want to find out from you, what is your vision of a better defense force in future in this country?
Thank you. Those are short ones. We can take a fourth one, a third one, actually. Russell?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Soipan, mine is just a quick and a simple question. If the House approves your nomination, you will be working with the Ministry of Defense, people who are moving fast and they want to be at the cutting edge. But there's clamor for Kenyans wanting deployment in North Rift, South Rift, in Isiolo, and all that. But defense is really about the country. How would you see balancing that to external aggression vis-a-vis internal deployment? Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Sharia will pass. Mishi?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, allow me to ask this question because so far I've buried so many young men in terms of what we call landmine. And I think, and I'm really pleading with my sister Soipan, if you're accepted in this docket, please coordinate or rather collaborate with the Minister for Road and Infrastructure so that at least we save the lives of these young people. And lastly, what measures are you going to put to ensure you achieve gender parity in terms of key military position? Because right now, most of them are dominated by men. I thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Soipan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll start with a question by the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, on the safety of equipment and the issue of maintenance and modernization vis-a-vis the budgetary allocation for the Ministry of Defense. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of budget, the little bit of interaction with the budget of the ministry that I have had a chance to look at the moment, and maybe Honorable Koech would bear me witness, is that a big chunk of the budget that goes to the Ministry of Defense goes into recurrent expenditure. But that is an issue that I'm going to look into with the relevant ministry, committee, to make sure that I understand it well and posture myself for, ensuring value for money for any investment within the forces. With the issue of equipment, yes, it is a concern in the country, and it's not just the air, mostly the air assets, I believe, is what your question is focusing on. And again, as one of my mandates is to assess the maintenance and to ensure efficacy and efficiency of this equipment. And I'm going to be very keen on that, as guided Honorable Wanyonyi. Honorable Mbui, on the issue of Article 153 on appearance before the Committee of Parliament, and the whole issue about access to information. Mr. Speaker, access to information, as members would know, has certain limitations under Article 24 of the Constitution. With regard, Article 24 read together with the sections of the Kenya Defence Forces Act with regard to classified information and information within the custody of the Kenya Defence Forces. And there is categorization of information that cannot be divulged because it amounts to jeopardizing the national security. But, Honorable Speaker, with regard to accountability and transparency, again, as CS, upon confirmation, I have the regulatory mandate to, regulate the issue around, the operating procedures around what is classified and what it is that cannot be divulged out here. And it is also about the authority of who is requesting the information from the Kenya Defence Forces. But by all means, Honourable Speaker, the limitation cannot be used as a conduit to downplay the need for transparency and accountability. So through my chairmanship of the Defence Council, once approved, again is an issue that I will look into to ensure that there's a balance and that the ministry is not hiding under the limitation of the access to information constitutional provision. Honorable Mule, I think, it's Honorable Mule, on the issue of what vision I would have for a very effective KDF. It is really about a well-equipped posturing of the various forces, both the air, the water, and the land in terms of the army. It is about mission preparedness and readiness to respond to any external aggression in a proportionate measure. And really, again, to make sure in terms of training, equipping and capacity building, the issue of the welfare of our service members is also of great concern for me, to make sure that the men and women who are again taking the front line in defense of the country are comfortable and well prepared to be ready for mission. The Honorable Dido Raso, the balance between readiness to respond to external aggression or potential threats of external nature and what I might be reading that you're talking about over-engagement of the KDF internally. It's a balance that we must strike. And again, being that the whole defense and protection mandate is really under this subject to the authority of the Constitution, I will make sure that the deployment of external and internal aspects of deployment of KDF are in balanced proportions, noting that the core mandate is really the territorial borders of the country and protection of the country from external aggression. The Honorable Mishi Mboko, I might have missed the question on how you would wish the KDF to respond to the issue of, is it the road carnage or landmines?
It is the landmine.
Yes.
Because if you tarmac the road, if you put cabro, then they cannot be able to plant those landmines. That is why I was saying that you need to collaborate with the CS for infrastructure and roads.
Agreed, Honorable Mishi, and the point is taken. On the issue of gender parity, Honorable Speaker, I think as a country we have come from very far because, Honorable Speaker, it is interesting to note that the Women's Service Corps was only disbanded in 1999 in the country, very recent. And the existence of the service corps meant that women were not integrated in the defense forces, that women in the force were not allowed to, their rights were really limited in terms of even marriage and childbearing and deployment, in operations. And I think we have come quite far, Honorable Speaker, but I have started reviewing the gender policy of the Ministry of Defense, and with a view to make sure that that progress that we made in the disbursement of the Women Service Corps is one that we will maximize on to make sure that women find their space. For those that are intended on serving their country in the KDF are not limited in any manner, just the same way that we are saying for every other Kenyan, not just women. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mukami, you'll pass?
No, this time no.
Go on.
Thank you, Chair. As the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, you are the advisor to the President on defense policy, while the Chief of the Defense Forces advises on military, operational, and administrative matters. Despite this distinct role, there is a potential and I know the Ministry of Defense, you normally lease vehicles. And the government is spending billions and billions of money. And I'm wondering, is it